Imagine if Star Wars was peak again. Wouldn't that be amazing? Well, Disney is trying to do this, but they are failing miserably. So much so that they will be making a Darth Vader movie starring Hayden Christensen. Now, I love Darth Vader. I cried as a baby when I watched the trailer for Revenge of the Sith, revealing Anakin turning to the dark side with those Sith eyes. I remember going to the theater with my dad, dressed up as Darth Vader, with Vader's light-up lightsaber, and when Anakin turned, I lit that bad boy up and waved it in the air, and the whole crowd was cheering. One of my favorite moments in theaters to this day. So yeah, I love Darth Vader, but Disney doing this is the exact reason why Star Wars is where it's at right now, and let me explain. I've always had people ask me, what would you do with Star Wars since you complain about it so much? So I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do if I was the head of Disney Star Wars. The first thing I would do as the head of Disney is to come out with a public announcement stating, we will be holding a press conference on the future of Star Wars. It would be broadcasted on all Disney Star Wars platforms and social medias live for everyone to see so that Star Wars feels like an event again and we could all come together as a unit like we once were. Now at this broadcast, I would be speaking on 4 main subjects: movies, television, animation, and gaming. Those are the 4 pillars that I believe most of the Star Wars fandom wants right now. And for the big announcement, I would say that the next era of Star Wars will be mainly set in the Old Republic. Yep, that's it. Yes, sir! Stacking the billies. It's about time we see more of the Star Wars world and its history than just the Skywalker saga and anything that connects with it. We love the Skywalker saga, but enough is enough. We need something different. And while we would be going to a new time period in Star Wars, I would still remain tied to George Lucas's vision of Star Wars, not the Disney Star Wars vision that they've tried and failed at. And we will also be focusing on quality over quantity. Enough of the 20 dozen shows and different multiple kinds of movies that go nowhere and lead nowhere, nobody cares about, nobody watches. We are focusing on quality. So that means very few projects. For games, I would focus all of Disney's attention on making, you guessed it, Star Wars Battlefront 3. And not only just making the game, but making it the best game that we can, so much so that I'm expecting it to be Game of the Year. Battlefront 2 on the PlayStation 2 was one of my favorite games back in the day, and I loved how epic it felt with all the heroes and villains that I could choose between, as well as the game modes, and it even had a campaign. And with the new Battlefront 2 coming out, I was geeking out until I played it on release. The whole game felt small, with only like 5 heroes and villains to play as, without a conquest mode or instant action. It was deemed a failure until the game became what it should have been when it first released, with monthly updates and new additions, new heroes and villains and maps and game modes. It was at its peak, and then it ended. Ubisoft put all of its focus on releasing another messed up game in Battlefield 5, at the time, of course, when it first released. To this day, Star Wars fans and gamers have been begging on their knees for a Battlefront 3, and they've been dead silent. And so I would do just that, but to consistently update it with new modes, new events, new heroes and villains, new maps, new guns, new classes, the whole thing. And to try my absolute best to making Star Wars Battlefront 3 the game of the year. I'm not messing around when it comes to games. If we're coming out with one game, it better be shooting to the #1 spot. So that's what I mean by good quality here. For live action television, I would focus only on one show, but this show will be our version of a Game of Thrones-like show, set in the Old Republic, of course, following the Mandalorian Wars. The show will have many seasons, roughly around 8 to 10, and it would be following all kinds of characters: Jedi and their Padawans, the Sith and their apprentices, soldiers on the ground and their captains from above, politicians and the Jedi Council, pilots, Mandalorians and other kinds of bounty hunters, etc. This show I would make the Star Wars show that everybody would be talking about. When people, such as myself, claim how peak Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 5 was, I want that level of quality for this show. That level of writing and impact of events. I want that for this show. I want that for the Old Republic. This project alone would take a whole decade to make, so as far as live action shows go, I would only focus on this. And if it's anything near to a Game of Thrones like show but set in Star Wars, it's gonna be peak. For animation, first off, I think Dave Filoni does a great job. However, since this is going to be a new era for Star Wars, I would rather have better and newer animation for Star Wars over the 3D clay animation we've had since my childhood. I know that anime is very popular today, we all love it, and I would probably go into that style of animation. I would much rather prefer the animation of Samurai Champloo or Cyberpunk Edge Runners over Clone Wars any day. I would make this show a proper anthology, not a 6-episode, 15-minute each anthology where it only focuses on 2 people and call it a season. No, I would make a proper 10+ episode season with 30 minutes for each episode. Each episode could be entirely different or have 2 episodes for one big story and that's it. No more half of the anthology is one character and the other half is another character. Let's just actually go out there and make some badass stories from all across this galaxy. Let's try and show the vastness of this world. This would be like our version of like maybe a Black Mirror show, but it would definitely not focus entirely on scary stuff. This show I would like to see continue for however long it could go, preferably a whole decade, same as the live action Game of Thrones like show that I would want to do. And for movies, for now, I would only focus on one trilogy of movies, fitting of George Lucas's Star Wars, and the trilogy would also be an anthology of sorts. This trilogy would follow the soldiers of Star Wars set in the Old Republic, but the stories would be all separate from each other, of course. The first film, honestly, it could be the new Starfighter film that's coming out with Ryan Gosling. If it's actually good, why not make it the first film of the trilogy? Boom, done. Which it follows a pilot, aka a soldier. And there we go, the only film that Star Wars is focusing on right now, let's make it the first film. The second film would be a horror film, focused on a squad of elite troopers sent on a distress signal in the Outer Rim. A ship of soldiers is in ruins for some mysterious reason. They go there and find out it's infested with scary creatures who eat humans. And so they fight their way through the infested creatures to save the few who are stuck at the center of the ship. This film, I would want to feel like the Astartes video on YouTube, where the soldiers feel like space marines and the creatures feel genuinely dangerous and scary. So of course this film would be rated R. I don't think I need to explain myself as to why this film would succeed. I don't. And the third film of this trilogy would be a massively large-scale battle centered on the ground, following a group of soldiers set during a very important war in Star Wars history. This film I would want to be like the Saving Private Ryan film for Star Wars. Gritty, realistic, sad, scary, action-packed, bloody. This film would also be rated R, by the way. Sorry Disney, but we need more mature content from Star Wars. We have so much potential with Star Wars. Why not make some rated R films? And throughout these projects, I would have them connect in ways, such as characters from this project coming into other projects as either background characters, or maybe they're older in this show, or maybe they're in both shows, or maybe they play as a character during a side mission or during a filler episode, etc. It could be anything. So that way we can make all these projects connect organically and bring in rewatchability and replayability, as well as discussions in these cameos and connections throughout the Star Wars fandom. I want Star Wars to feel like Star Wars again. I'm tired of it feeling like child slop. It feels off. It feels like there's no passion. It feels like there's no creativity. It feels like they don't care. It feels like they are freaking out because they don't understand what Star Wars really is. And that's why they're sticking with Darth Vader. That's why they cannot seem to be branching out in any other aspect of Star Wars. It's strictly Vader, anything set during the prequels or the original trilogy or the sequels. That's it. They are not branching out. And that's the exact thing that they need to do, is branch out. If they don't branch out, they will continue making the same project over and over again, and people will get tired of it. They are already at death's door when it comes to the Star Wars fandom, and we need something different. Now, what do you guys think of all of this? Would it be a good idea? I personally believe in my bones that if they did this, Star Wars would see a massive revival, and it may even be at its peak once again. Let me know what you guys think Star Wars should be doing, and if any of my ideas make any sense or not. Should we continue with the Skywalker saga? Like, how many more projects can we take? Should we focus on the story of Rey? What do you think about getting more Vader content? To me, it just feels desperate and super unoriginal. We have so much potential with Star Wars, and I think they are purposely not dipping their hands in it because they are afraid to try. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and ring that little bell for more cinema content. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Take care, and God bless.